Hi, everyone. I'm Heather, and welcome to another Homeschool Live. I'm here with Nadim with CTCMath. I feel like he's just part of the TOS family. We see him here so often. We are so excited to have him be a part of this event. He looks after all things CTCMath. He has 2 children, and he is joining us right now from Australia. Hi, Nadim. Thank you for joining me today.
Hey, Heather. It's great to be with you.
Well, I am really excited to just jump right in and talk about CTCMath. This is a program that I use with some of my kids, that a lot of the followers watching use, but I know there's a lot out there who may not be familiar with it. So can you just give us an overview of what CTCMath is?
Sure, yeah. I like to think of CTCMath as giving homeschooling families all the tools at their disposal, and they pick and choose the tools that they see fit or necessary for their families and their children's needs. But in a nutshell, CTCMath has some great and wonderful video tutorials delivered by Pat Murray. The video tutorials are short, concise, to the point. They really unlock these aha moments in your children. And then the student goes on to practice those problems via the adaptive interactive questions. Now, they're adaptive in nature because they adjust to the student's ability without the student knowing. And we have a lot of cool other features. The ability to set tasks, access to all levels from all grades, family-friendly memberships, the weekly revision sets, question bank wizard, which creates you to create all these custom worksheets at your disposal, plus numerous other things. Yeah.
Awesome. So this is a completely online program, but there are options if a parent wants a printable for their child. Is there that option as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we have online interactive questions, which are adaptive in nature, as well as the worksheets. We definitely appreciate and understand the importance of pen and paper math.
Mm-hmm.
Pat makes that very clear. We encourage all students to have like an exercise workbook in front of their screens, so they can jot down notes and, of course, assist with their working out. That's paramount. That's really important.
Yeah, and that's good. And that's sometimes, as a parent, I forget about, some of my kids, they can just do things in their head, but other ones, when they get to the upper level, obviously they won't be able to. So it's good to remember, okay, have your pen and paper, pencil and paper right there to help.
Particularly, yeah, Heather, I think you really hit the nail on the head when you refer to those upper grades. Often your knowledge is not just displayed in the final answer, it's in your working out. So there's detailed solutions with those questions. You have step-by-step problems solved. And it's good to compare your notes with Pat's, the student.
Right. That's good, because I think a lot of parents, when they're looking at a math program, they want to know that if they don't know the answer, that there are step-by-step solutions that they can help. If their child doesn't understand it, then they can help their child. Because I was just talking to a parent this weekend, and they were telling me why they didn't like a certain math program, and it's because some of the problems they would give you the step-by-step answer. Others, they just assumed that the parent knew the answer, and this was upper level math. And I know for me, I can't remember everything from high school. Math just wasn't my thing. So as a homeschooling parent, that's very helpful. So Pat, he does all of, the nitty gritty actual teaching, but then you also have these answers for parents if a child is really stuck. Do you have other help available if a child gets really stuck with something and the parent gets stuck? What would a parent do at that point?
Sure. Yeah, we have a wonderful array of resources in the parents area. There's some tools there, but I also encourage the parents to screenshot the question, email us. If you provide the students working out, that's one step even better, because then we can have a look at where they've got unstuck and really focus in on the area of struggle. And then we come back to you with an answer, of course, sometimes via video form. So we might record a quick video, and we might say, hey, John, I know you're struggling with this point, and it will be one of our teachers up on using a whiteboard. Sometimes we just provide a written response with some screenshots. Yeah, it depends on the situation.
Oh, I love that.
We're here to help. And yeah.
That's awesome. That's really good to know. It's not just, you use the program and you just are hands off, but you're hands on right there available. So that's really great. I was wondering if you could share with us specifically, are there any ways you can think of how CTC Math can specifically help homeschooling families? I know you work, with public schools and private schools and different, different types of educational platforms. How can you help homeschooling families?
Sure. Well, I think the first thing that's really key is that Pat gets homeschoolers. Pat homeschooled himself, 9 children. So he understands the day-to-day challenges of homeschooling. There's some unique features for CTC Math that really show that Pat gets homeschoolers. The access to all lessons from all grades. This is key. Math is a building block. If there are any gaps in the foundation, the whole thing can come crumbling down. And often you get to a concept where the student just gets roadblock,
Right.
The concept just doesn't sink in and they don't quite get it. And they almost zone out.
Right.
And generally, the reason for that is that they've missed some key knowledge earlier. Now, the student, of course, cannot recognize this. They don't get that.
Yeah.
That's why it's really important to fill in those gaps. So access to all lessons from all grades allows you to do that. If you're struggling with 5th grade fractions, it's very easy to take it back to 4th grade fractions, even 3rd grade fractions,
Right.
consolidate that learning, and then go back up. Another helpful tool that homeschoolers really love is the reporting ability to set tasks, which is completely optional. But I would put that all under the accountability tool, the accountability umbrella. And with that comes the video tutorials as well, because essentially you're outsourcing your math. You're saying, okay, for math, I'll get Pat to do the heavy lifting in my homeschool day. This is one subject that, I might struggle to teach myself, or the concepts are becoming too difficult as the kids get older.
Right.
Or, I've got 7 kids, 8 kids, and it's just physically impossible for me to teach them all math at their various levels. So with the video tutorials, the reporting, the task setting, and the notifications, the email notifications, you really have that accountability and you can keep track of each child. And I'll put adaptive questions in that as well, because the student really, we take them up an inclined plane, we don't rush them up it so as they don't fall and go rolling back.
Right.
It's a step-by-step incline, and we really build on concepts.
I love that. As a homeschool mom myself, I just want to say that I love how, CTC Math does do the heavy lifting. And I just want to let you know that I want all our followers to know that I just recently had my high schooler start taking one of the classes, and he is loving it. And you were mentioning how there's the accountability factor, and you'll get the emails when they complete a lesson and when they earn certificates. And I'll be in a completely different room, not during school hours, not when I'm expecting him to do school, and I'll just get these notifications. Your son has completed this this section. He earned the certificate. And I'll yell down to the basement, "Are you doing math? Are you doing school?" And he's like, "Yeah." And it's just so wonderful because he likes how it's goal orientated, right? So he likes having those goals. Oh, I want to meet that next goal. And if I don't get 100 this time, I want to get 100 next time. So, and he's learning in the process and he's enjoying just the format of it. And and he was intrigued because his younger brother was doing it, and his younger brother's doing great, which I am really thankful because he was struggling with math. We tried so many different things. And I mean, this is for real. I'm not getting paid to say this. I mean, I'm really excited, genuinely excited, because he was he just hated math. And now when he does it, it's a boost of self-confidence, that he can actually do it now. And I know it's set to a certain percentage. I set it to 80%. So did I set that right? The parent can set it, right?
Correct.
Okay. So the parent can set, I couldn't remember if that was, in the system or if I said that, so if he doesn't get 80, then he knows, okay, tomorrow we're going to work on that again, but with mom's help. So I'll help him and I'll see, where did you not understand what was going on? So that's how we approach it. But when he's able to get above that 80, then he feels really good about himself. So
Isn't it awesome to have a child do their math without being asked?
I was shocked. Yes, it actually can happen. But I think it is because it's how the program's set up. He's used other programs. He's used other programs that are, online. And but it's just the way that it's set up. It's small lessons. It just is, teaches you the concept and it's done. It's not just a lot of busy work. So I think he likes the way that that's set up.
Yeah. What takes Pat, what takes others, 15, 20, 25 minutes to explain, Pat has a wonderful ability to deliver that concept in 3, 4, 5 minutes. And people say, how are the video tutorials so short? And the only way I can explain it is by saying, please watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Please watch them. And I tell families when comparing, when making your curriculum choice, it's very important to have the students' involvement as well. You want these aha moments. You want them to like the program. You want them to feel motivated to do it. But most importantly, you want them to understand it, because anything that we don't understand, we find difficult and hard. And the more difficult, the harder it is, the less inclined we are to do it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I always suggest when comparing, pull up a video tutorial on a particular concept, maybe adding fractions. That's always a good one. And then watch it in each of the programs. Have the child watch it in each of the programs and compare them and say, which one did you understand? Which video tutorial was best for you?
That's really good. I like having the child, see, okay, this is what you possibly could be doing. And then they get excited about it. So that's really great. I was wondering if you could share what you see as one of the biggest challenges that parents face right now when it comes to teaching math.
Yeah, I think these mental roadblocks, which I sort of touched on earlier, because what they lead to is a lack of confidence. So when you get these mental roadblocks where the student's not understanding the concept and then it becomes difficult, hard, laborious, and they no longer want to do math. They lose confidence, and when they lose confidence, it's just math can often end in tears. That's sort of the stage that sometimes you get to. So really trying to get them to flick the switch there, that is the biggest difficulty. That's the challenge when you're at that point and you're trying to get them, because then it can be like pulling teeth, really. And we hear it time and time again about these. We hear time and time again the challenges that homeschoolers face in this area. And what I would say is that sometimes the solution isn't as difficult as it may seem. Often it might be just an earlier concept that was missed. They're not understanding the teacher. The lessons are not being delivered in such a way that the students get it. And once you overcome that, once you start seeing aha moments, once you start seeing smiles on faces, then they want to do it. Then they want to get stuck into it. And that's ultimately the point that you want to get to. So when you find the right solution, it really pays off.
Right. And I like how you mentioned even earlier about how if they don't have, the base work, just the basic foundation, then, they're just not going to want to do it. And I don't know, a lot of kids might feel dumb, or they don't feel that they can do it, or they tried a program, they couldn't do it, and they just feel like it's impossible. So having, a different approach and trying something, like CTCMath, where they can just go over it again and again. And like you said, it's intuitive. So if they're not getting it, it'll keep, teaching it on their level. Right. So I think it's just a great way to present, difficult math problems to children.
It's a major key that unlocking the confidence boost, because it rubs off on other subjects as well. It really does. So
I would love if you could explain the difference. This is something that comes up a lot in homeschooling education. Can you explain the difference between spiral learning and the mastery approach?
sure. And I'll focus from a math point of view on this question. Okay. And I will say that firstly, the two are not mutually exclusive. And I would actually recommend both. And maybe if I use CTCMath as an example with this. So with CTCMath, the video tutorials are very much a mastery approach. We focus on one concept at a time. We deliver that concept in a short, concise way, keeping the video tutorial short, and in a simplified way. Pat has an incredible ability to simplify and break down concepts and explain them to students. But we'll just focus on that one concept and we'll hammer it. We'll smash it out of the park. We'll make sure that the student gets it.
Yeah.
And then the questions are purely based on that concept. So again, a mastery approach.
Right.
But then the spiral revision is really important, is equally important as the mastery approach. So we deliver the video tutorials in a mastery approach, but then there's this spiral revision that's available via the diagnostic tests,
Okay.
which are set for each and every topic. The question bank wizard, which allows you to create these custom worksheets, and you can pick and choose which lessons so you can pick as many lessons as you want.
Oh, wow.
But then there's the weekly revision sets, which these are great because these are done for you. They're one click of a button. They're split into 2 semesters and they help consolidate learning. Yeah, they really help consolidate learning. And the idea is to complete one a week. You might have seen the math worksheets or the math mates where you open up and you got, all these questions and that's what they're like. They're 26 questions a week. They build on prior concepts. So say you're in 5th grade and you're working on semester 1. All of 5th grade semester 1 weekly revision tests are based on 4th grade math.
Okay.
So you're not forgetting these concepts.
So are these online or are these printable or both?
Both.
Okay.
The weekly revision tests they're available interactively online, or you can print them or download them as a PDF. So you have the option of both. And that's where you get your spiral revision. So you're making sure that they're not forgetting concepts. They're constantly practicing them. You're building on them. So when choosing a curriculum, I don't really like this question. Is it a mastery approach? Is it a spiral approach? Because I really think you need both.
Right. That's really good. Yeah, I like that the program includes both, because I can see a lot of parents who like to have their child, sitting at the table and having their daily work that they do. So if that's how they teach and that's how they, their child works best, then they can have these worksheets that you can do weekly, that you can do daily, right? There's worksheets that they can create themselves. So if they want to have that, when maybe a younger child is working, when they're teaching their older child, they can have this, for them. Okay, work on this so you can remember. I know I've been tutoring a child, and I've been noticing it was maybe once a week. And I was realizing that, okay, maybe that's not enough, because he would forget some things from the week before. And so I think a lot of parents might want to have, okay, make sure we do this daily so you're not forgetting these concepts when they're sporadic. That can happen.
I think there's a 2-step approach with that. The first step is make sure that they got it the first time around. And that's where the mastery approach is important. So that they got it the first time around. Say you got a 40-minute math lesson, 45-minute math lesson. And this is what Pat loves. Pat loves to sorry, I'll start again. So if you have a 45-minute lesson, Pat loves the approach of a 5-minute explanation and a 40-minute practice. Because that's where they're learning a lot during the practice, rather than a 35-minute explanation and only 10 minutes of practice. So step 1, make sure that they understand the concept, and you get that after you teach the concept. If you come back a week later and you they got it the first time around, but they're forgetting it, that's spiral revision. That's where you need to make sure that they're practicing it throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout
Yeah.
the semester, so on and so forth. So you need to build on that. So using that two-step approach will help you identify at which stage the student is struggling with. And these 35, 40-minute explanations of a math concept really lose a child. They lose
Yeah.
concentration, they lose
Right.
focus.
Mm-hmm.
And often the key piece of the lesson is left at the end.
Wow.
So by the time they get that,
When they're lost and not paying attention anymore.
Correct.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And then I think a lot of kids are sitting there wondering, what did I miss? I don't understand it. So I like this approach. Absolutely. So if you could give parents one piece of advice for their students in the area of math, what would that be?
Persevere. Keep going. It gets tough, but once you get there, it's great. And stemming off that a little bit is that each child is unique and has their own ability and has their own passions and interests, and you need to follow that. And you need to expand strengths and minimize weaknesses, so to speak. So that's not to say throw out math if they don't get it or they don't have a math. You persevere, but at the same time, don't push them over the edge. And this is the beauty of homeschooling. You know your child best. Isn't it wonderful when the teacher knows the student best?
Yeah.
And you can cater for them. You can cater for their needs.
Yeah.
Anything worth having, it is not easy to attain. There's going to be difficulties there.
Yeah.
And by nature, that's why it's so good at the end, when you get to the end. So keep going. There's heaps of help out there, not just CTCMath. When it comes to homeschooling, there's so many wonderful resources. The Old Schoolhouse magazine is one of countless, amazing resources out there. So reach out, lean on the community, lean on help, and keep going. We're all in this battle together.
I love that. I mean, that's so wonderful because I think a lot of parents think, no, they have to do exactly as a teacher's guide tells you. And if they're not reaching these certain benchmarks, then your child has missed out and they're terrible in math or something. But I like how you said, that you can cater to your child's needs. And it just makes me think of I have two sons that are using it, and the youngest, at first I was thinking, okay, if he doesn't get an 80%, I'm going to make him do it again that day. and he's going to keep going until he gets 80. And then I realized he just isn't ready for that. Like, just mentally, like, he just can't handle that. And so I realized, okay, the next day we're going to try the same lesson again. And, and I'm going to help you with it. And then we'll go from there. And so you just kind of have to feel out each child, what they can handle, where their confidence level is. And like you said, you're not just going to give up altogether and say, okay, you didn't do good. Oh, well, let's just do another subject. But, you still try to think of a way to make it work. And I love that CTCMath allows you to do that. And I'm really, really grateful for that. So I just would love, before we sign off, I know you have a really great deal for homeschoolers, and I cannot wait to share this with our audience because it's absolutely incredible, actually. So just a few more minutes and I'm going to share that. But before we do, could you just maybe walk us through a day? I know it's going to look different for every student, but just maybe if you think of a typical student, what it would look like if they were going to be using CTCMath.
Sure. Great question. Okay. So what I like to, how a typical day, and again, we give you all the tools, you pick and choose the tools that you want. So I will say one of those days in the week, I would dedicate to the spiral revision. Okay. So let's look at the majority of the days are going to be the mastery approach. So you're going to have possibly 3, maybe 4 lessons on the mastery approach. So you log into your CTCMath. You kick off from the previous lesson. There's a very structured menu, and concepts build on each other. You have access to all lessons from all grades. So if you need to go back and fill gaps, or you want to skip a particular concept, for instance, in measurement, we cover both imperial and metric. So you can pick. You can do both, or you can just pick one. So there might be some lessons that you skip, but generally you follow the lesson order. You watch the video tutorial, 3 to 4 minutes, and then you practice problems based on that video tutorial. The students see 10 questions at a time.
Wow.
They're adaptive in nature. So we encourage, if this is your full math curriculum, to take those questions 2 or 3 times. So they really master that approach.
Right.
On the spiral days, once a week, I would say maximum, I would either have the student complete a weekly revision set or a diagnostic test for a particular topic. Or if you want to get nitty gritty and you really like to use the question bank wizard, create a custom worksheet. Again, this is purely optional because we have them for you already via the diagnostic tests and the weekly revision sets. But they're customizable, which allows you to either make them longer or shorter.
Right.
Add in extra lessons if you want, or remove certain lessons, and also adjust the level of difficulty. You can either make it really, really easy, somewhere in between, which is generally where our work is for those spiral revision sets, or really difficult. So you can adjust level of difficulty and play around with it. So that's what I'd say a typical day looks like.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that, because, I use it for 2 of my children, and that is their entire curriculum, but other families might use it just as, I can't think of the word.
Supplement.
Supplement. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, they would use it as a supplement. And just as you were talking, I'm thinking it'd be great Christmas break, obviously summer break, just extra work, if they know in their regular curriculum that they're using that, like you said, if there's some sort of gaps, and they can fill it in with these. So it would absolutely be worth it just to have this resource available. When you buy a membership, it's annual. Is that correct? Or there are different options? Just annual.
There's monthly as well, but there's
okay.
There's a yearly option.
All right. So now I just think it's incredible, because when you go to the website, you see that there's a free trial and you can check it out. So if you want to check it out right now, like Nadim was mentioning, have your child try this. And if you're looking at another one, try that one and see which one works better. But you really don't have to do that. You don't even have to use the free trial, because you have an incredible money back guarantee, right? If you purchase a membership, you offer a year's, 12-month money back guarantee. That's incredible. I've never heard that before. So you're really not missing on anything.
Yeah, and that's no strings attached. You simply send us an email saying, this. You don't even have to say this didn't work out. You can say, give me my money back. And we'll say, sure.
Wow.
And we'll refund your entire payment. You could do that the day before the 12-month money back guarantee ends. So on the 364th day, you can send us an email saying, give me my money back. And we say, sure. Because we know the trade-off is that you've left CTCMath, and people are just not going to do that to get their money back, because then they've got to go look for another math curriculum.
There you go.
All their prayers. So, no. And I mean, it's really important, because before entering the homeschool market, we asked homeschoolers, the US homeschool market in particular, we said, what's your biggest fear? What holds you back as a parent trying a new curriculum? And the answer was very simple, that it doesn't work. We've gone through all these resources, we've spent all this money, and we haven't found the solution. And we didn't want anyone saying that about CTCMath.
Yeah.
We want you to feel confident in your decision, and we want to back you. So if we don't have a positive impact on your family, we don't deserve your money. And we want to remain friends as well. That's the big thing. We really want to remain friends. So for any reason or no reason at all, if you want your money back within the 12 months, we'll certainly refund you. And that's available to everyone.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. So we have www.ctcmath.com scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That's where our viewers can go to purchase a subscription right now. And for homeschoolers, you have an incredible discount. Would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, Pat really does get homeschoolers. You get a half price discount. So
wow.
Essentially, for $148.50, you have this math program for all your children. That's a family membership. You're not locked in. So if you have 7, 8 children, you have 8 memberships there. For all your children living under your roof, for $148.50 for 12 months. That's an entire year. We do have some monthly options as well, if you'd like. And we do have a single student option, but that's our most expensive membership. I just quoted our most expensive membership. the $148.50. To unlock that half price discount, when you visit ctcmath.com, click on the homeschooling link and then click join now.
Okay.
But click on that homeschool link first to let us know you're a homeschooler, and then you get that discount.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We really appreciate it. I hope that our viewers out there will take advantage of this awesome deal, because that's absolutely incredible. And like he mentioned, there's no risk involved. So go check it out, ctcmath.com. Well, Nadim, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time out of your morning to join us and share with us about CTC Math.
Thanks, Heather. I really appreciate it.
And thank you, viewers, for tuning in. And we just appreciate you joining us for our Homeschool Live events. And just want to let you know that we are in the second week of our Mama Bear sale right now at schoolhouseteachers.com. So if you head over there, you can get a membership for an incredible deal with some freebies as well. So go check out schoolhouseteachers.com at the Join Now page. And we will see you next time.